All right. LODs, level of detail.
Okay, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
And this is cool. This is why open world games are so awesome to look at.
Yeah.
The reason why you use level of detail models is so you can stream content. You could put more stuff on screen.
Yep.
And The Witcher does this, and I think more studios should do it.
Well, I think every game.
Pretty much every open world game does it at this point. Yeah.
I think Resident Evil doesn't do it.
I mean, Resident Evil?
Yeah.
What, 1?
No, the reason they just have these really awesome character models in those kinds of games, and it just means like you can only draw 5 people on the screen at any given time.
Okay.
It sucks.
Which Resident Evil are you talking about? I don't know which one you're talking about.
Pick a Resident Evil game. They're all kind of like that.
I don't think one could make their models any lower though.
Oh, well, they don't use LODs. Is my point. And the use of LODs is actually very beneficial in that way.
Sure,
to just substitute a model out
Yeah.
when it's in the disc.
Did we explain what LOD stands for?
Level of detail, right?
Yeah.
And it's basically where you've got like a low poly character, a medium poly character, a high poly character with like high detail resolutions.
Yeah.
And if we're using like a common example, Skyrim and Oblivion both use this with like their world terrain, where a mountain will look great from a distance, but we'll actually be using kind of low res textures and very low polys, and as you get closer, it's higher poly.
And if you look well enough, you can actually see some games.
Yeah, there are divisions. You can even see the lines.
Some games either see the like it'll snap in,
Yeah.
and you can stand there moving back and forth and watch it, or it does a fade, which seems more common now for games to just do a fade.
Rage is a good example of one where if you turn your camera quickly, you can see the level of detail change.
Oh wait, that was the whole textful thing. Wasn't that a whole another thing?
Oh, that was
the way they were doing the mega textures.
Oh, they did a few things, I think.
Yeah,
Rage
but I
was a
mean,
beautiful game.
it was a problem. I remember them saying that when you turned too quickly, you would actually see all the level of details come in.
But I don't think it was actually LODs. It was just textures.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
it was
textures
going
are
from
level of detail.
low res textures to high res.
No, it just didn't have them like. Wasn't that the thing? It was just having to put these textures like to load them into RAM or something.
Dude, you have to talk to John Carmack. I have no idea what
we've got to get
Next
John.
week we'll get John Carmack on.
He was like, you hear him talk about stuff and what he's getting to render things, and it's just he's using every part. He's using every part of the machine to render things that it shouldn't. So I have no idea.
Dude, I played that game recently and it didn't have that problem.
Well, that's probably because like it's 8 years old now.
Yeah, the hardware is so much better.
We can just brute force it.
2012.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh man.
So the LOD is most apparent when you go through a lot of content really quickly.
Yep.
And so in The Witcher, your highest speed is probably determined by a boat or a horse. Whatever you can travel in the fastest.
Yep.
There's probably, the horse?
Yeah, probably.
And so for CD Projekt to make that game look decent is to make everything pop in and stream content at the speed of the horse. That's your goal. Which is you don't need it to be any faster.
Yeah.
The standard variable of speed of horse.
Like
1 horsepower. I mean,
Yep.
The Witcher, you're dealing with 1 horsepower.
Well, hang on.
I mean, in
Whoa,
GTA, you're dealing with multiple horsepower.
When there's another horse running towards you while you're on a horse.
Oh, that
that's
sounds
2
like a maths
horsepower
problem.
combined, right? You have to then render.
No, when you're running it towards you.
Yeah, if you're on a horse and you're running towards another character on a horse.
Yeah.
That's 2 horsepower combined. And so you have to render that horse coming at you at 2 horsepower, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
This is that old maths question. There's 2 trains.
2 horses leave the station
exactly.
at 2 a.m. traveling 1 horsepower each.
I mean, if you think about it, that's the speed they have to change the rendering at, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But also...
I get you.
Yeah.
I thought you were making a goof, but actually, I get you.
I was not making... It was a goofy way of putting it.
It was a goofy way of putting it.
But it's accurate.
Yeah, it is.
So Grand Theft Auto has things faster than a horse.
2 planes. That's the rate at which...
I know. I mean, this... Yeah, it does.
So with that technology, that leads into that switching characters at will.
Yeah, they've had to... I mean, they've had to like optimize their LODs to facilitate moving at 120 kilometers an hour or whatever.
That's I think it's 12 horsepower.
12 horsepower.
So we can actually from these numbers,
6 times better.
We can determine that Grand Theft Auto is 12 times better.
6 times better.
Yeah.
Oh, 6 times?
Well, because 2 horsepower. Remember?
Oh shit!
We've established it's
I thought it was 1 to the power of 2 horsepower.
1 to the power of 2.
I don't know. I'm
Just
just
1 times
1.
2?
1 times 1 is 1.
Damn it. All right. Last point. Online. Let's go to online.
But yeah, I mean, is that what was your point for that exactly?
sorry.
Like I'm not
Dude,
even like you just said.
I think his point is that
They can stream content
it's
quicker.
It's able to
Yeah.
to stream between the low and high res.
That's sure, but like, why would CG Projekt Red like
Need
take the
anything?
time to allow things to
Okay.
render in as fast as GTA when it doesn't need to at all because you're only going like one?
Yeah.
Well, it
1
allows for
horsepower,
interesting. It allows for interesting gameplay.
But
Well-
how? Like, you don't get a jet. You're not going to like
Yeah.
fly across the world.
You play as Siri and that Gerald guy.
Geralt, yeah.
Gerald.
Oh.
Gerald.
And
Oh,
Gerald.
old Gerald.
Mr. Gerald Witcher.
yeah.
But wouldn't you like to be able to switch between them at will? Like throughout
That's
the
not
story?
the game. You're
I know that's
you're
not
saying-
the game that they
that's
made.
not the game. You're saying you're like those 3 characters were a design decision, right? The Witcher, you're playing Geralt. Like this is the core game.
I know, but don't you think if CD Projekt had those tools that they would use them? That because
Well,
it
no,
makes
because
for
that's not the
inter-
story they want to tell. Like
Well,
this
but
is
also like you wouldn't even need to use that.
Hang on,
technology if they had
Hang
it.
on. Why doesn't GTA have much better, more complex melee combat? Because they didn't need it. That's the answer. Ultimately, it like what Blake is saying is correct. Like they don't have this crazy streaming technology because at no point in the story they wanted to tell did it call for it.
Okay.
However, they have amazing horse stuff going on because there's a horse.
In
You know?
the
true.
lore,
They do have amazing horse stuff going on.
in the Gerald lore,
yeah,
Gerald
Geralt.
does he ever fly? Does he ever jump on a phoenix or anything? Does he ever like tame a? Do you get where I'm coming?
Hey, you're saying
Does he fly a dragon?
does he ever unlock a dragon mount?
Is he the Khaleesi?
No.
No.
No, I don't think he does.
Are there
haven't
no
read-
flying monsters in?
Okay, well,
in The
yeah,
Witcher?
but he doesn't hop on them. He kills them. He's a monster slayer.
But wouldn't it be fun to like domesticate a monster?
That's not the game. That's
You're
not
just describing
like, the
Ark.
world they're living in. People aren't flying. Like you're thinking of a Lord of the Rings fantasy world where people are just riding on giant eagles. That's not The Witcher.
Okay.
That's,
Well,
I
that's
see where
fine.
I see what Severn's point is, but I don't think it. I don't think the GTA's
Like
detail scaling is really impressive, but it's not really relevant to the Witcher.
so.
Wait. Okay. They use LODs.
Yeah, but
they stream content.
if they're
Wouldn't
if
you
they're-
want to do it
faster.
better? Yeah.
But you don't need to. Like you don't need. They don't. It's. They're not going to spend development time creating something that they don't need.
It's
How come
they
our
already
game
have
doesn't
it.
stream content at the speed of
I'm sure
of
they'd
Grand
love
Theft Auto?
to.
Because we only see like a small box because of the camera angle. We don't need to do that.
Right. That's a whole nother thing. We're
But
we're
that's
of
the
course,
same thing.
We're of course not an open world game.
But
But
you can put LODs in any game. Like it doesn't matter. It just has to be a big world. It doesn't have to be an open world game.
boy.
You can have a
Oh,
big
boy.
area that you can fly through really fast,
I actually
and
think
still need that same tech.
I think
from-
LODs would actually work well in
I'm
Path of Exile.
gonna jump in here because it's just getting to your guys are just
Yeah, but
arguing
the thing
here.
is,
oh my god! Here, shut up, Blake.
we don't need like the reason we don't need LODs is because when you don't see. I mean, you know this when you don't see
All right.
something on camera, it's not being.
All right,
rendered.
let me
Okay.
debunk what
No,
Blake's saying real quick.
no, but
Because,
the
dude, if
point
you
is-
have
Unless
something
you're zooming
casting,
in.
if you have something in the distance casting a shadow into what's being rendered
Okay, fair enough.
on screen,
Yep.
you jerk.
Okay, fair enough.
that is one reason why you'd want to
Yep.
do it.
Okay,
Um,
fine. You just have a shadow mesh. You don't have to worry about. You just have a low poly shadow mesh,
so
Yeah,
anyway,
and then you
the
don't have to
question
worry
is,
about it.
the speed here is irrelevant. No, and as Severn, I know you want to say it differently, but you're wrong. The speed here is irrelevant, okay? Because the Witcher does not call for fast. What is the question here is, does the Witcher do it well? Is
They do it well enough.
Is the transition between levels of detail?
Yeah, it's
is it
fine.
smooth?
You don't-
Is it clunky? Is it noticeable?
I don't think I've ever really noticed. Like,
Then that's all that matters.
Unless I've like fully looked for it.
Right. And now I've played GTA and I've had like stuff pop in, but they do a great job. But
But again, the speed that you're going,
Yes,
like
and-
you kind of would expect
Yes,
there
I
to
would.
be at least some pop in,
yeah,
depending on
especially like
your
like
computer.
the actual street inhabitants. yeah, there's like definite popping, but they do a good job. But like at this point, I feel like this is a tie because they both serve their purposes well.
Well, my point is just to say they both use it. Grand Theft Auto is better.
And I'm saying wrong, irrelevant.